help bring home their loved one, who they say is being illegally detained in Venezuela. 38-year-old Savoi Wright is a US citizen. His family says Venezuelan authorities arrested him on October 24th. They say he has been held for ransom and they're worried about his health and well-being. A family attorney now says Wright is facing terrorism charges and is accused of conspiring with Venezuelan opposition members. His family is calling on the Biden administration to designate him as wrongfully detained. Joining me now from Oakland, California, is Erin Stewart, Savoi Wright's mother, and Moise Stewart, Savoi's sister. Thank you so much for joining us at this very difficult time. You're both, of course, asking for help to bring Savoi home safely. He is a US citizen, and you say he has no political ties, but now we hear he's facing these terrorism charges, accused of conspiring with Venezuelan opposition members. Does that make any sense to you? Moise, I'll start with you.
First of all, just thank you so much for having us. We really appreciate having this opportunity to speak with you. And to answer your question, absolutely not. You know, Savoi, as my mom has mentioned in the past, is a gentle giant. He is a nomad. He travels and works remotely, as we all have as a family, you know, and it is unfortunate that he has found himself in this circumstance. You know, he was literally kidnapped. He has been held for ransom, as you mentioned, which we paid. And now we're just really wanting him home. We're doing everything that we can. We've been pleading with the State Department, you know, really wanting to make sure that we get him home as soon as possible, you know, and we're just bumping into so many bureaucratic roadblocks, really, you know, and trying to do that. You know, they're requesting that we have him sign a privacy release form, which I understand, but we can't gain access to him. His attorney can't gain access to him. You know, so it's like, it's one thing after another where we're doing everything in our power, trying to urge, you know, our government to designate him wrongfully detained, which is so blatantly obvious. We're doing everything that we absolutely can.
And Erin, you say that your son's kidnappers demanded large sums of money and that you paid all the ransom demands. So why do you think they're still holding him? And what do you know about how he's being treated right now and where he might be?
Well, you know, I thank you again, Rosemary. We appreciate you so much. We did pay the ransom, and we continued to be extorted as he was passed from government facility to another government facility. And during that process, he was actually set to be deported. And then the military intelligence, who is where he is now, DGCIM, came in, intervened, and took him. And because he is American, we're assuming they have now made him a political prisoner, along with the other American hostages. We know that where he is, it is a place that is notorious for very inhumane treatment. We know that Savoi did pass out and from the abuse and the neglect, and was taken to a medical facility. We do know that horrible things go on there. Savoi was placed in forced disappearance for 4 weeks, with them not even acknowledging that they had them, and with no communication to the family. He was placed in solitary confinement. His human rights are being violated on a daily basis. His attorney has been denied access to him. And so it is a horrible situation. And we are urgent, not only for Savoi, but for all of the Americans that are there, that are, you know, that we want them home. We want all of our families and our loved ones home.
Yeah, understandably. And Moise, you mentioned problems with the American government. A spokesperson for the US State Department is telling CNN that they are aware that Savoi was arrested in Venezuela, but they say for privacy, safety and operational reasons, they don't always make wrongful detention determinations public, and they don't comment or discuss these cases. What does that mean to you? you did mention a privacy agreement that they wanted you to sign, but what help have you been receiving, if any, from the US government on the treatment and hopefully safe return of your brother?
Yeah, I feel like there's definitely an opportunity for more accountability, a lot more just proactive steps, really. You know, it took a lot to even get a full acknowledgement, let alone a serious conversation about what's going on. I think we all can agree now. We know that Savoi has been detained. You know, that's not a question. We have confirmed, heard from him himself, you know, that he is there. And we, like I said, we've just been encountering so many just levels of resistance, really, you know, with being able to move forward with this process, which it's so clear cut. You know, someone is kidnapped, we are extorted, he's held against his will. All of his human rights have been violated continuously. They're currently being violated. And we're just told that there's not much that can be done, you know, and that you have to sign this form. But it's like, how do we even get this form to him? And at the very least, as his family, we should be given that information. We are Savoi's advocates here on the ground in the United States. So we have to speak up for him. He doesn't have that right now. And that's what we're doing. Right. And still, we're met with bureaucracy at every turn. So we're really pleading again with the US government, the State Department, to do everything that they can. You know, I do see that there is more of an effort being made to communicate with us. That's a step in the right direction. But really, this is an urgent matter. You know, every day, every minute counts, and we need more action. We need him designated wrongfully detained, not tomorrow, not next month, but now.
And we're calling on Antony Blinken to review his case. It is very clear cut that Savoi should be designated wrongfully detained. And the other gentleman?
Yes, Assistant Secretary of State of the Western Hemisphere Affairs, Brian Nichols, did actually include Savoi along with the other 3 Americans that have been designated wrongfully detained. He included Savoi with that, you know, in a press conference recently. And we appreciate him acknowledging that, because even he is able to see what is so blatantly obvious. Savoi should be designated wrongfully detained.
Erin Stewart and Moise Stewart, let's hope your brother is brought home and your son is brought home safely and very soon. We thank you so much for talking with us and sharing clearly a living nightmare for you both.
Yeah. Thank you. And can we mention Savoi's GoFundMe, Bring Savoi Home? That would be very helpful if people would be willing to contribute to that. Thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Rosemary.
Thank you so much. Thanks for talking with us. We appreciate you too.